If you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. Also, find that little bell icon, click that too, because that will alert you when we've loaded a new video. We're going to make some cabinets. I've already got my sketches, so we're ready to go on that front. This is my wood that I will start with. Usually it's starting with rough sawn wood, which is sawn sometimes in the field. When I say in the field, in the woods. Sometimes it's sawed in a sawmill, but it's got really rough edges. I've got a great deal on some poplar, and this is what they call S4S. And that means all four sides are finished. This edge piece, these are 1x6s that I purchased. This edge piece I'm going to use for back support for the face frames on the cabinet, on the cabinet box to the face frame. So this will attach to the cabinet box, be reverse screwed, and screw into the face frame so it pulls it in, so there's no front fasteners required on the face frame, and it makes really, really strong. We're getting ready to assemble the face frames, and on the sides of the face frames, just as a side in cabinet doors, it's called stiles, and on the tops are called rails. So when you look at cabinetry or whatever, they'll refer to rails and stiles, and you now know what that is. So on the bottom, with the exception of the island, which is going to be about 2 inches taller, on the bottom I'm going to have all the same size, height-wise, cabinets. So that's going to be 30 inches deep. That allows 30 inches for the face frame, 4 inches for a toe kick, and then about 2.5 inches for a countertop, because we're thinking about putting concrete countertops in there. We're unsure, but we'll make it work somehow. And so we're going to make all the stiles the same length, which is 30 inches. I like to cut it in multiples of wood. That way you know when you come down through it with the blade that you get an accurate cut. You're not out a 64th or a 32nd of an inch on each side. Now I've got my stiles for the front of the cabinetry, with the exception of the big double oven cabinet. And when you're working with wood, just metal, anything, you want to utilize as much of it as possible without having very little waste. Minimize the waste. And when you're cutting the lengths of the boards, and you keep this in mind even prior to when we started cutting these in 40, 42 inch sections, 4-foot sections, 6 foot, and a little past 8 foot, that when you're prepping all this wood, you lay it out to where you get the most out of it. I'm going to show you how we're going to prepare the face frames, and I use a pocket hole system. I'm going to start by putting the pocket holes in the rails. You always pick the best side. Look for blemishes. These are cabinets. Cabinets are like furniture, so you really want to be very careful in your selection of wood. Also, I forgot to mention, when you are making your face frames and door rails and stuff, always eye up your wood. And you eye it up like a rifle. The back sight and the front sight. and you eye between those two to make sure that there's no bows, bends, curves. Anyway, we're going to start with the pocket hole. So the side that's facing me will face out. Styles here, and we know you want to start on the back because this is going to be assembled from the back, and I'll show you why. Mark out 2 1/4 inch, and that's for the top style. We know the bottom style is going to be 2 1/4 inch also, and we want 6-inch drawers on the top too, and then the bottom one would be whatever's remaining, but it'll be 9 inches. So we go 2 1/4, then from 2 1/4 we go to 8 1/4, and then from 8 1/4 we go to 10 1/2. 10 1/2 to 16 1/2, 16 1/2 to 18 3/4, and of course at the bottom go 2 1/4, which should leave 9 inches. It does. So kids, if you want to build cabinets for a living, make sure you get your math down. What I've done is flushed up the top and the bottom, and I'm making the marks on the back of the stiles, and that is where we'll put the rails so we know we are right when we go to screw and glue the rails. We're going to apply some glue in the joint, the butt joint, and then we're going to screw the pocket screws into the stiles, and we're going to also clamp it with this apparatus right here, which is basically a vice grip with a pad on the top and the bottom, and that'll make sure that we get where it stays flush and doesn't get pushed to side. If you didn't have this, more than likely when you took the screws into the side grain, it would move it all slightly, and then you would kind of have a mess. Okay, you're going to want to apply a little bit of glue on the rail. Now doing the top. You'll see why I bring that over the edge here in just a minute. This vice grip helps to act as a stabilizer so that when the screws are going into the wood, it doesn't shift. Face frame. So when you look at it from the front, that's what you see. Now I got to clean this off with a little bit of a wet rag here from the glue, and we are ready to go on to another face frame. So that's how you make a face frame. Next come the boxes. Kick into the side panels. This is going to be for one of the boxes on the ground, a drawer box, which we'll show you how to put together here in just a second. I always go back to my, you know how much I love Europe and European, well, my lineage, but I always refer to the Japanese handsaw here because it is, I like it. And if you're into woodworking and you haven't tried it, give it a shot. I seem to have a lot more control with it. Okay. Got to show you what came in today. The legs that I was describing to you, they came FedEx this morning, and I've been waiting on them. This is from an old European American piano company, which was afterwards purchased by Baldwin, and they used to be on the front of their pianos, several of them, not all of them. Their makes, but I really found them intriguing. I found them on an internet site from a picker out in California. His name is Larry, and Larry's been picking since 1995, so well before American pickers even came about, he was picking. And he found these on a piano. He took them off, so I don't know how long he's had them, but I'm going to now repurpose them. I love to take a little bit of the old and mix in with a little bit of the new, and there's many reasons behind that. One is that you never forget where you came from and what your people have done for you, and also you're continually moving forward. So remember the past and move forward. So anyway, I think these are going to be beautiful. I got two of them. Both of them are in excellent shape, just like Larry said they were, and they're going to go on the edge of the island. Now, one of the reasons I like these is usually the lion has sometimes like a goofy look or a happy look. The lion's a little bit fierce. And then the German eagle wings coming off to the side, and then it's got a little bit of the, I would say the Alsace region of France, which is right next to France and Germany, this here. And the claw feet, that reminds me a little bit of Britain. So there's a little bit of all of Europe mixed into this leg, and these were hand carved from the early 1900s. But I'm going to repurpose them on the front of the island. I think it's going to be great. I'm always looking for stuff like this. I've got a shop full, or a storage facility full of different items that I've found throughout the years, and I'm glad for people like Larry, who is always out on the lookout, and they always have people like me in mind who will utilize something like this that they can salvage instead of going to the dump. Pre-cut all the pieces, and what I'm going to do now, and since it is only 9.5 inches, I'm not putting side rails. Usually I'll put these down the side like so. I'll be able to shoot into the side. And another thing with this cabinet, this is how the face frame will go. Many times I will do a double wall system where it means the inside wall to hold the drawer guides, and then an exterior wall if this cabinet is facing out to where you would see it. The reason I do a double wall, a lot of shops will just take and attach this to the face frame and the back to a holder to the back of the cabinet. It's just, they break. I've repaired so many of them that I do a double wall system. Makes the cabinet stronger. It's a better way to go. Going to want to make sure this squares up. By that, it's real simple to do. It's fine. Good. Usually as all your components are square, especially as you start to assemble it, it will be square, but you want to make sure and always check and double check. This side looks a little bit better. Now, that should be good. That's good. Very important to make sure your cabinets are extremely square, because if they're going to fit all in pieces in a sequential sequence, you want them to fit right. See, I got these lines drawn, I'll know where to shoot. These are the back support pieces, and what we'll do is put these on. A little bit aggressive there I was. There we go. And this provides the rail that will attach to the wall into a stud. So everything's important, but this is very important. You want to make sure that your cabinets fit nice and snug and are secured properly so that they're not flimsy. We're going to do the same on the bottom here, and that will be the support going into the studs. Now we're going to switch guns here. Now we're going to cut some of these small pieces with the pilot holes, and they're going to go up on the outside of this one. On the cabinets, they usually go on the inside, with the exception of drawers. That would be door framed ones. So they'll go on the outside. We will attach the face frame to the back of those. This piece here, which will hold the face frame to the top, put in. I've pre-pilot holed and pre-sanded two sides of this, as you'd seen before. Make sure that you use the right side when you're gluing it up. You just put this flush. Okay. Make sure you got the right size nails too, so they don't shoot through. That helps. And I'm setting up the GoPro. It's kind of hard to do this by yourself while you're building it by yourself, but it's what you got to do. are really to hold it in place while the glue dries. And as the glue dries, I've told you many times, it's usually stronger than the wood itself. So now that this is ready to go, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this set up overnight. And the reason I do that is so that these here attach and they're glued and the glue's dry and it's ready to go. But this is what's going to happen. Oh, perfect fit. Looks like it was built for it, doesn't it? So, go here, and that's what we're going to end up with. As you can see, the drawers will go in here, and we will be ready to go. So this will attach from here, back here, and inside here. So I'm going to let this set up overnight, and I'm going to do some more boxes here, and that way in the morning we can put face frames on. Decided to take out the drawer guides. Just make it for a better paint job. If you can't do it, that's fine. But I'm possibly going to be able to get in there with a right angle drill. If not, I do have someone that can help that has smaller hands, smaller arms. You can get in there, and since their holes are already designated and marked, should be easy fit to put them back in. Just makes for a better job. Now, I'm going to attach the face frame. I've preloaded the pilot holes with 1¼ inch screws. And now these back supports are well adhesed. Let them set overnight. And, oh, where's my, there they are. Need these. What we'll do is go ahead and seat the face frame on here. Alright. We're good. Really good. Like I said, make sure that everything is flush because it matters in the end. It matters all the time. It matters in the end when you go to put everything together. So, and that is how the box is made. So we've made the face frame, we've made the box. Super sturdy cabinet. You don't get these in the big box stores, and you don't get them from most big cabinet shops. Things like this come from the smaller craftsman cabinet shops. Big, huge difference. This thing is solid. It's going to last. This would last hundreds of years. And if you notice, the reason I put the attachments in the back, now there's no entry into the face frame, so that there's nothing to fill. And whenever you fill, no matter how good the fill is, I can't say that you won't notice it, because there are applications that you can put on, like epoxy fillers, that you don't notice that much. But why do it when you can have it this way? And it's much stronger. Lasts you a couple different lifetimes. So anyway, that's your box frame. Now I'm going to get on to making the rest of the cabinets. And the one unique one we're going to have in here, very unique, is going to be the center island. And that's with these legs that we got from the old piano. Really looking forward to doing that with some very decorative, ornate trim.
If you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. Also, find that little bell icon, click that too, because that will alert you when we've loaded a new video.